What is going on? I'm Zedmont. You guys had questions. I've got answers. First and foremost, the number one answer is code Zedmont in that creator boost. And then we're going to jump into warships. And I have two warships that are doing fairly okay. This one lost all the way down to 17, almost 16. It's now back up in 20. And how it managed to get there, a little bit of artillery, tiny bit of artillery. A reminder, there is a bug with sky shields that means that if you're looking at a sky shield and it says that it's got a 37,000 shield, it probably has more like 19,000, 18,000. So notice that it says Sky Shield 3 level 1. I'm not sure if that's relevant or not, but bottom line is that if you have max level artillery, it is 3 artillery to get rid of the shield. If you have tick 3 artillery, it's like 6, so you're going to have to experiment a little bit. Nonetheless, I am pushing forwards. Yes, forwards. I have spent my tokens on brick. I am now saving for 7. Is that the right idea? Probably not, to be completely honest. And on the other side of that coin, in the also probably not contest, is bunkering down at 5 engine rooms, which is what this account has been doing. This account is at its highest point-ish. Just got it into 19. Decent little run by getting everything defensive. Went through heavies to get some extra sniper towers, got the doom cannon, got the machine guns. And I know some of you probably are going to get the cannons there and the snipers up there. Regardless, these are my choices. This is what I'm sticking with. My bombardiers are at tick 1. Rocket launchers are maxed, which is definitely helping, especially with that building damage. And the next thing this one's going to go get is that sky shield. So bonkers. Lots and lots of defenses. The 6 engine room deck is frankly bad, and my win-loss ratio is not bad as well. So beating some players, getting beat. You can tell this was a 6 engine room base. That's the only base that I'm this fast against. And I'm just using Rifle-Zooka for every single one of my hits on this. Just rifles on one side and some Zookas in behind it. 4-4 ratio with Kavon off to one side and then just wandering through it. Now I've got Kavon and some critters, which makes hits so much different, which I probably should be dropping like one boat of bombardiers over here somewhere. But I've only got tick 1 bombardiers, so that is one thing to be very aware of. You can be crazy fast against 6 engine room bases, especially if you have critters and Kavon. I'm seeing times of like between 2:40 and 3 minutes or so, which is crazy, which you can't get against 5 engine rooms terribly easily. So going to 6 is one of those things I warned you yesterday. Don't go to 6 unless you have that Tetris piece, which will get you all of the goodness. And then this is just trying to time that shock on that hot pot so you don't have to throw more than 1 shock ideally. I had to throw 2 here and it worked out decently well, but as a result I don't have the artillery to get rid of that sky shield, so just wandering through all this stuff. Critters every which way, and then waiting for my troops to go down, which is why I lost to some extent. So definitely Rifle-Zooka works against every base. I have not fizzled once that I can recall, even against the dirtiest of dirty bases. And again, this is another one of those 6 engine room bases, and just dropping. Same hit every time. Left-hand side, critters to clear some mines, Kavon going one way or the other, and then just walking through things with some critters for distraction and some med kits, and there comes that next shock at the last possible second. Only needed 1 shock there, which saved me a ton of GBE for obvious reasons. And then kamikaze flare with that shock and some med kits and decent times with that 100% troop health. 100% troop health playing a big role. And I said questions you guys had. Heavies. Heavies, you do not need heavies to go 6 under most circumstances. If you're using rocket choppas, you don't need heavies. The heavy choppas get out front, they take a beating, they drop some baby heavies, and you can plow through bases without too much concern. But if you're using Kavon and bombardiers, you're probably going to have a tough time with heavy choppas because they're dropping baby heavies, and then shock launchers will shoot over top, and you're going to lose your bombardiers. So if you're using ground troops, you probably want to go back and get heavies, or just don't use heavy Choppas. Go get troop damage first. Like, if you want to go into 6 with Rifle-Zooka and go get that troop damage, you can compete as well, but heavy Choppas are working really, really well with rocket Choppas, but without rocket Choppas, you're in a tough time. So also with troop health, you do not need 100% troop health to run heavy Choppa, rocket Choppa, but you probably want to max your heavy Choppa. I have heard of a lot of people using Tick 3 heavy Choppas, but I believe they have 100% troop health. So I've got 100% troop health, 50% troop health, other account, with those heavy Choppas, and I maxed them, and they're just cruising through everyone, everywhere. And now, as far as those filthy bases like these ones, they've got the Doom Cannon and the Hot Pot and some rocket launchers and the building damage, and it's just, I drop on this right-hand side, I drop my Zookas because I want to get rid of that cannon as fast as we can, and our troops are going to turn right anyways. And then I wait a couple seconds and drop these guys on the left. Those guys on the left, their job is just to walk through everything. And as you can see here, I have not dropped all of my rifles yet, and then all of those left-hand side rifles just walk through some things with some critters to try to keep a couple of those guys alive. Once in a while, I'll throw a med kit too, but in this instance, with just the one machine gun, don't have to worry about that at all. And then these mines right here are a pain in my buttinsky, so I will probably be throwing, there we go, there is the critters. Getting those critters out, clearing a couple boom mines, getting that hot pot to pop, and then this is the rush. Hoping to get rid of it before needing another shock. And occasionally I'll just let some rifles die, because you do way better if you can get it with one shock, because then you've got more shocks for the shock launcher and the Doom Cannon. And let's speed this up a little bit. So again, Rifle-Zooka walking through the filthiest of filthy bases. I did late drop a boat of rifles, but I drop it as most of mine are making their way towards that machine gun. I should have showed you, but I didn't. And then just, like, honestly, it's just Rifle-Zooka and some medkits. And my medkits are Tick 3. I probably should put some tokens into them because I use a lot of them at corners, as you can see here. And then once we get towards here, I'm probably going to use some critters and, or, you guessed it, another medkit. So lots of mines sitting there, but our rifles don't care, to be completely honest. And just a reminder that your medkits, sorry, not your medkits, your troop health is also going towards the health of your critters. So getting that 100% troop health does wonderful things to your critters, to your troops, to Kavon. And you know what? Let's go get those medkits maxed, because I am using so many of them. And yes, my GBE is very low. We've got 10% there and then 10% there, but it really does not matter with Kavon. I probably should have put that into bombardiers, but I don't have time to learn new hits right now. So we're just going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to drop our rifles on the right-hand side of that, and then 3 boats of Zookas there. And then as they start to get close, we're going to drop that boat of Zookas, and we'll get those guys going. And I'll typically drop like something in the middle here just to try to clean things up a little bit. Notice that we're avoiding most of those mines. And then up this side, we are going to get those rifles walking through. And it's like, because of those shock mines, it's only like 3 rifles that we're losing. So it's not a giant whoop, but we're just going to get that set of critters out there a little bit early. Don't need to worry too much. And now I've been watching and talking too much, so those rifles are a little bit late, but we should be able to go something like this. Get those puppies out there, shock that right there, and he got 0. Yes, my hot pots are now have a gender apparently. So now we have got that hot pot taken care of, and now we can shock those 3 rocket launchers with that 1 Doom Cannon, which is such a powerful shock. Like, so much value there. It is just bonkers, and then we'll get one more time just to let our troops get close enough. And as far as second wind goes, I use 2 at the very most. I mean, 8 GBE for a second wind is pretty gosh darn cheap, so I can't say no to that. But once it gets beyond 18, I just generally have better things I can spend my stuff on. And I went and upgraded our medkits, and then I haven't really been using them all that much in this battle, so we're going to just throw those critters back there. They're going to distract some things, hopefully not losing too many rifles, and, like, honestly, it's almost impossible to fizzle on max level bases if you're just using straight up Rifle-Zooka, so lots and lots and lots of good things to be found when it comes to using traditional troops. Like, Rifle-Zooka is about as meat and potatoes as you can possibly get in Boom Beach, but there's some decent fun to be had. I don't know how to deal with this corner terribly well. This base is something you'll see a lot of. I would love to just flare and ignore that flamethrower, but I only have tick 1 flares, so I find that I actually get better results if I just let them walk. Kavon will do some healing, and then as we get close, I'll throw that, and then throwing our shock late. A couple rifles can get burnt because all of our damage is coming from behind with those Zookas. We got a time of 1 minute 22, which is not super duper quick, let's be completely honest, and we are quicker than people who are using most troops, though. Like, honestly, I can't remember the last time I lost to a Bombardier player. Rocket Choppa players with 100% troop damage are a little bit quicker at times. But overall, Rifle-Zooka, back to basics. Like, I don't know why people have stopped using Rifle-Zooka. I haven't seen anyone using it, to be completely honest. I do watch the occasional replay, but everyone's using Bombardiers, and Rifle-Zooka is better and quicker in my opinion. Now we're just gonna see if they've got the GBE. Sniper towers. I love sniper towers with that building damage, but we're gonna see, do you have, that's an early shock. Are they gonna have enough health to get through the sniper tower and the boom cannon and the machine gun? It's gonna be very, very, no, it's not gonna happen. So fizzles are happening, which is sort of surprising, and we managed to pick up a fizzle right there. So people, give Rifle-Zooka a try. There's lots and lots of goodness. Had to throw a shout out to Mr. Ian. Ian was my boss battle for 19. A very, very good player, and I don't know if I've given him a shout out before, but he definitely deserves one. So here's my attack on Ian's base, and it's exactly what I showed you previously. Rifles out front. I noticed that I put the rifle flag way up close to that machine gun. That's to try to get them in like a little bit of a blind spot, which, as you can see there, I saved a couple of them, and then Kavon started to go right, so I did a second wind, and he kept going right, which wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but not the end of the world. And then same deal, just critters, and critters are distracting that flamethrower, which saved a couple of my riflemen, and just like medkits are so frickin' good. This right-hand side just getting pummeled by those rocket launchers, but our Zookas are standing in, like 100% troop health. Zookas are pretty gosh darn strong, so if you're struggling or you don't have instant training, give those Zooka dudes a go. And then same deal here. I'm assuming I'm going to do the kamikaze flare here, and just do the kamikaze flare even if you don't have shocks, because those rifles will stand in front and keep your Zookas alive, which is pretty gosh darn great. And on the flip side of that, back to this base in 20, those people who are struggling and or fizzling, heavy choppas and troop damage just removes all of those concerns. You just walk through bases. So if you don't want to go back and get that troop health right there, and you don't want to go back for critters and Kavon, let's be honest, these are the most expensive critters I can remember. 59 keys just to get critters, especially for flying people who, I mean, Kavon is greatly useful, and I regret not getting him to some extent, but we're going forwards, baby, into that 7, which has another sky shield. Probably going to get shock blaster, to be honest, just because of that sky shield bug. Let's just double check. It says level 1 there. I wonder if that's wonder if it's actually 20,000 health, because a tick 1 Sky Shield does have 20,000 health, but then maybe the shield's not, maybe your building health isn't applying. Anyways, and then forward into building damage, and then forward into more shock mines, I'm guessing, and then another shock blaster. I am kind of tempted to get a damage amplifier here, because that damage amplifier on my other account with all of that goodness, we're in that back corner with like 5 rocket launchers and doom cannon. That's very, very appealing to me. I haven't seen anyone with a damage amplifier. If you have, please let me know. We don't want, I have a hero now. Oh man, look at this. I didn't even comprehend. I thought for some reason it got rid of my hero, but no, I've got I've got Brick here. And am I going to put some tokens into her? And you'll note that no one is heavy bus rushing right now with Brick and buses. And if you go back and get those heavy dudes, maybe, just maybe, there's going to be some bus rushing. I like the fact that there hasn't been bus rushing. That is, heavy Choppas the last few seasons have been very well balanced. You don't have heavies, or you do, but there's lots of shock launchers. And so bus rushing hasn't been around in a minute, maybe. I wonder if you could free clear with bus rushes with 100% troop damage, 100% troop health, and heavies. That's a lot of extra keys, but give it a go. Let me know. And now the swirling donut of death. What shall we do for the thumbnail today? Been doing some good things lately. I think been getting some good feedback on the thumbnails. Do let me know your thoughts on those. Let's go. This guy or gal should be able to do this fairly well, and I kind of want to just send... We're going to use Brick. This is going to be a bit stupid, but we're going to do it, and I'm going to send you over here, and then as you walk up, we're going to go something like that, and then all of those guys, Brick just gets shot in the face. That is your only job, Miss Brick, is to just get shot. I needed one more. That did not work at all. So my goal there was to get Brick shot in the face and then get my rocket Choppas to stay alive, and it just did not work. So was hoping to send 2 heavy rocket Choppas over here, and that just absolutely and utterly failed. So we need to get a shock on that left-hand side just to try to keep that alive. And now it's just just full on babysitting. And now, oh man, that was close. That rocket Choppa almost switched targets, which would have been very, very, very bad. And now we need to get a shock on that left-hand side in a hurry, and I'm too late. So those edges are so... And this is why you don't switch accounts, by the way. Playing 2 different accounts that are drastically different does not go well, as you can see here. So we are going to possibly lose a rocket Choppa. There we go. Heavy Choppas dying actually helps, even though you just get baby heavies, which is not super useful, but it's better than a kick in the teeth. So we're just going to keep going, and I'm going to throw a bunch of artillery back there because I have not been babysitting my GBE at all, and as a result, we should be able to get all this down. And then we're going to do the diagonal, and this is the weird thing that I've been doing. Actually, you know what? I've already lost, so we're just going to walk through this. I've been going back to this one and then forwards, which is not a great idea, but it seems to be working, and I should have flared there as well. So overall, just not doing great things here. Need to get... 211 is not going to win you any battles in this rank. And then in we come, doing the old kamikaze goodness with a shock and an artillery and another flare for good measure. And sloppy. And that just shows you, as soon as you lose 2 rocket Choppas, the battle's basically over. Like, I probably should have retreated right there when I lost a rocket Choppa at shore. That's just the gambles you play with when you're using rocket Choppas. And you saw there, they got a 232. So this base is definitely old and stale. And man, I'm really curious about that right there. That Sky Shield and or damage amplifier. I'm going to give that a go, I think, on the Sky Shield side. I don't mean on the Sky Shield side, I mean on the defensive side. So I've got the option right about there to go get... Oh, there's no damage amplifier there. Shucks. So I would have to spend some diamonds and change this to be, nope, there's no damage amplifier there either. So, okay, so at least I haven't screwed up as far as choices. I want to try the damage amplifier, but you gotta go into 6 to get one by the looks of things. So that is where this account, I hope not to take it to. The reason why I hunkered down with this account is because I just want to get this one into Diamond and just park it. There are 11 days left. 2 accounts is one too many though. So that's what I'm doing. Hunker down in 5 if you want to get to Diamond now. 6 is a bit of a gong show, to be completely honest. First of all, you got to save all of those 120 plus the 28 plus the 36. Then it's just a lot of things to save, and saving does not go well for most people. So spend it if you got it, my friends. Anyways, hopefully that answered some of your questions, gave you some details, entertained you, and somewhere in between. Thank you for coming in. I am Zedmont, liking, sharing, subscribing, and all of the rest of the goodness. And if you haven't noticed yet, since the update, it seems like there's fewer and fewer rocket launchers behind the core on Manticore. So sending Bullet out there to distract some things, sending all of our rocket Choppas towards the back, being careful about that cannon there, and then just one shock onto that rocket launcher, and we are in free snipe material. Now, that rocket launcher right there is definitely going to give us a little bit of grief. That's why I farmed some GBE here, but eventually you gotta make your way towards the core. That's what that flare was for. So medkits doing great things for rocket Choppas. Do make sure you throw the medkit on the shadow though. Notice, you see the shadow there? Right about there you can see the shadow. Make sure your medkits are on the shadow, and then just pummeling the core. No cannons in range, shock launchers can't see us, no sniper towers. I've seen a lot of Manticores with no rockets at the back, and it might just be, they might have been doing that forever, but ever since rocket Choppas came along, do go solo Manticore with rocket Choppas. It's a good time. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.